Welcome to the Les Bi Rel Podcast. I'll run that back. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Let's Be Real podcast.
Mm-hmm.
My name, your host, is Genesis.
And I'm Mariah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
All right. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty.
The nitty gritty. Wait, can we talk about something?
Yeah.
We're going to have wings for dinner.
Oh, we're having wings and Temptation Island. I love trash TV. I
Oh.
love trash, dirty trash TV.
Yeah.
If it requires no brain cells, I'm in.
Phenomenal.
I am in.
Temptation Island.
Love it.
Phenomenal.
It's phenomenal.
It makes us angry, but it's phenomenal.
Super angry. The whole time I'm just mad. The whole time I'm like, why?
Why would you do that?
Why are you on the show?
Why are you here? But yeah, no. So I just wanted everybody to know because we did talk about Chinese food.
Oh yeah.
So
we're having wings tonight.
We're having wings tonight. Like cool wings though.
Yeah, real
from,
cool.
Like those cool weed places that have like 100 different flavors.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
So I'm really excited.
All right, well, this is part 2
This is part 2
of dating.
What makes us apprehensive about dating?
So you spoke about your diabetes,
My
type 1.
My type 1 diabetes.
Diabetes.
Not wild,
I'm
not
going to
crazy.
speak about being divorced and having split custody with the children of 3 children. And how does that look? So I think for me, a little background. So I was previously married. I was with my ex-wife for about 11, 12 years. And then we got our divorce. And for newly divorced, maybe in the past 2 going on 3 years now. So I think that in itself is pretty hard to have to explain off the rip, because I think my appearance, especially on Hinge, I think that I have this look that
this cool girl.
I'm this cool girl that probably gets a lot of women or girls, and I look like the player type, quote unquote. I just look like I like to have a lot of fun.
That wasn't what I thought of you though.
That is true. No,
I didn't think you were a player at all. I thought you were really attractive, but I didn't get player vibes.
So I think that that's the baseline. So I think the image of what I give off and my appearance and how I dress, or I just give off this image that I don't look like I want a relationship or I want to be serious or anything like that, which is fine. And then to throw in the mix, like, hey, just let you know, I was previously married and I have 3 kids and I do split custody, and I speak to my ex-wife, not on a daily basis, but we do speak to each other often enough, that could make someone feel uncomfortable. So I think these are red flags. This is me.
Okay.
This is
my. I was gonna say, I don't think so.
A red flag in the sense of how I would see it. So you were previously married, and now you're divorced. Why? Right? That's why I feel like that's gonna be the first question.
That's
like, why?
True. That's valid. Yeah.
Why are you divorced? Why? And you guys were together for that long. What
happened?
What happened? And I think that we all have our own truths and our own stories to it and stuff like that. So I think that's always the first thing to have to like overcome and show that, and then to know, like, a typical, I think, relationship is like, oh, we could live together, we could have a studio apartment, we could have a 1-bedroom, we could live anywhere and everywhere, we could pick up and leave, and I can't do that. I am here in the state of New Jersey, and more so in our certain county, where we both have to stay for custody reasons. So that takes away from dating someone like, oh, well, like starting a new relationship, you could progress and go anywhere you want. That doesn't happen here. That can't happen here.
And then in my case, I lived in a different state.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, so in my head, when I first saw that, I was like, okay, she lives in another state. Like, how serious can it get? Right?
Yeah.
And it got damn serious.
It got real serious, real fast. But,
But that's in itself is more of a...
It's a big ask.
It's a big ask, but see, this is the intent of when I first started speaking to Genesis. It was like, oh, well, she doesn't know to say how, in terms of wanting to protect myself, because one, I'm out of divorce. I had also had a different type of relationship that I just came out of as well, where trust is issue, and it's like, I don't have to be that connected, right?
Yeah, because I'm far away.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not
that mattered.
Not that it mattered.
In your brain,
I was
far away, so it was easy to not get
I couldn't get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, having to date me in that sense has to be a little bit difficult. Knowing that every other week I do have my children, and especially for us, like I said, like our weekends, that's why I wanted you to stay as long as you could, because I wasn't going to see you for another like 10 days, 11 days, which isn't normal, because like, well, it is normal. It's my normal, but for someone your age, dating and stuff like that, like I thought that was going to be, and that's going to be an issue. You know what I mean? And then
some people would see that as an issue.
Yeah. And you came out of a relationship, right?
Yeah.
You don't speak to your ex.
I don't.
I do.
Yeah, for sure.
And we try, both of us, to maintain a stable relationship where
you have to be cool.
We have to be cool. We both have to like each other to a certain extent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how am I supposed to? I think that takes a lot of, not trust, but I think it takes a lot of, for the other person like you to be comfortable. What is that word? Like,
oh yeah, no, I think it's having that
level of trust. Trust in me, and I'm completely transparent. I'm completely honest. I do not hide anything.
Yeah.
There's no reason to, right? Because I think that falls a lot on me. How I'm gonna make this relationship be is going to fall a lot on me, and how I describe, or how what goes on.
How you approach the relationship. Yeah.
So I think that's always been difficult. It's like, how do, like, dating me is not easy. And then my own personality, right? That in itself is
a phenomenal personality.
Now, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's okay. I'm fine with that, and that's okay. I think
everybody's cup of tea.
I think I appear one way, but my personality is completely different. I'm a little weird.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, same. Yeah. For sure.
We're two weirdos.
We're
like super
weirdos.
Weird.
Yeah, we're like outgoing and introverts.
Yeah, like I don't want to be here.
Yeah, like it depends.
I don't want to be at the show anymore. I don't want to be here.
I want to go home.
I want to go home.
Mom, take me home.
Yeah, exactly.
Mom, pick me up from camp right now.
Right now. I don't want to be in band camp anymore. Yeah, so I think that as I grew more feelings for you, I was like, damn, is this going to be a hurdle? Is this going to be a hurdle? Are you going to be okay with not just having to split my time, like just me? I know I'm not explaining it right, but I'll get there, guys. Give me some time.
I think you're doing a good job.
I appreciate you.
I love you.
I love you. But yeah, I think that it takes a lot for the other person to be okay with the communication in which I still communicate with my ex. I co-parent, and that in itself could be a lot. And having to split our time together, and especially you moving in and stuff like that. It's like, our every other Saturday we could do whatever we want, but the Saturday that I have the kids, we're
and this is
we're doing birthdays
after I met them.
Yeah,
like at first it was like, obviously you don't meet them in 2 seconds, right? So it's like,
or even before you met them, like I wasn't as available in messages, and texting, FaceTime, like, and I like to be present, and I want to be present, because I it's hard, because I work. I do work 3 days out of the week, but I'm out the house at 4. I'm at the house by like 5:30 in the morning, and I don't get back until 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So that day's gone. I don't see the kids. So when I am home, and I'd like to be present. I'm not as active on my phone. I'm not that. But then, it puts me in a position where I also want you to feel like you're seen, you're heard, you're validated. But I also want the children to know that I'm also here too.
And you're present.
Yeah. And then me. I want to be present for me. So it's a lot to juggle. Or it was, or I felt like it was going to be a lot to juggle. But, yeah, I truthfully didn't know. Like, you don't have children.
I don't.
You weren't previously
I just have a fur baby.
Yeah, but you weren't previously married. But you were in a long-term relationship.
Yeah, long-term, yeah.
Where you guys did things and stuff like that. Yeah, I was always worried. I was always worried, because it's like, damn, I'm really into her. I really like her. I'm falling for her. And it's like, I hope that we could get through these hurdles together. And like, I think what's been big for us is communication. I think that we have to communicate. Every Sunday we do a check-in.
Sunday check-in.
Sunday check-ins. How's your day going? Or how was your week? How did you feel the most loved?
Is there anything we got to talk about?
Yeah.
We still need to hash out.
Yeah, that we're, that maybe at the time it wasn't right to talk about.
Yeah.
How does your week look like? What's coming up? So that we're always on the same page, because I think that's what I've learned, is that communication is key. You have to communicate.
You have to, yeah. I think a lot of people get into routine.
Yeah.
And you're just comfortable in that routine. And I think sometimes it just leads to
it's
you just assume that the other person is thinking a certain way, doing a certain thing, completing a certain task.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it makes you lose touch of the other person
for sure.
in a way because you're just expecting them to do something.
Yeah. So I think that for me, that's my big come on, like, hey, hi, how are you? My name's Mariah. I was previously married. I've got 3 kids. And I'm a nurse, and that in itself, because
that's also another
that is another hurdle.
It is another hurdle.
Dating someone that's like in medicine because my only perception is that of being a nurse, but like I'm desensitized to a lot of things, and sometimes I could come home like, I could be having a bad day, but at work it's like, hi, how are you? My name is Mariah. These people are, I do pre-op and post-op.
They're going through something.
Yeah,
right now.
And like I need to put on.
You have to be on.
I gotta be on all day, and then it's a lot. And sometimes I just want to go home and decompress, and sometimes I just want to listen to you talk, and sometimes I don't want to talk.
For sure. And I think that you did a really good job when I first met you.
Yeah.
I that was like our first conversation.
Yeah.
You literally went,
right off the rip.
I'm divorced. I have 3 kids.
Yeah.
I cannot leave this county. Next. Are you okay with that?
You cool with that?
Are you cool with that? And I was like, oh, well, of course. It was on your profile.
Yeah, on my profile it said that I had kids.
That you had kids.
Yeah.
And I didn't see that as a problem. It was actually really interesting because
you don't see many people, and I think in the community,
correct,
divorced the way that I am, and like
have kids,
and actively
custody.
Involved.
Correct.
Yeah. In terms of just being masculine and stuff like that.
Correct. Like truthfully, I had so many questions when I saw kids because I was in my brain. I was like, well, maybe they were in mask at first. Maybe they bore the children first. Maybe that's just where my thought was going. I was like, maybe it was with another partner. But I mean, I've never met a mask with kids unless they were married.
Yeah.
Like a single mask with kids that they actually take care of. I'm sure it's out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure you're not the only one. But I had never experienced that before. So I had questions like, well, were they yours, or did you birth that? Like, what was the steps? Were you previously with a man? Like, that was my question. I'm like, is being a lesbian something new to this person?
Yeah,
was my main. That was where I was coming from.
Yeah, no, I see that.
So, those are just kind of the questions that were running through my head, and then, a lot of my other friends were like, they have kids, like, and I'm like, yeah, she has kids, and then they're like, and you're gonna talk to her, and I'm like,
she don't just got one. There's 3 of them.
Well, at first I didn't know.
Oh, that's right. Just said kids.
It just says
kids.
Yeah. So I'm like, that could mean 2. That could mean 19 kids and counting. I was like, I don't know what that means, So, I mean, granted, I kind of figured it was in the realm of like 2 to 3 if you put kids, right? But everyone was like, are you gonna? And I'm like, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I've never... I had previously dated someone briefly who had a child, but it wasn't enough to like
have gained the experience, like
correct, to have gained any experience, I guess,
to have an input
in the parenting world. Zero input. So I think a lot of people, especially in my friend group who are in my age range, were very apprehensive to people who had children already because, well, I mean, most people in my age group are getting married for the first time, having kids for the first time, like that's what we're doing. So I think for them to have to jump into someone else's life who already has kids is a bigger hurdle for some people. And for me, I've always wanted kids. So it didn't strike me as odd or as weird, like, oh, maybe I don't want to do that. Because in reality, I was like, oh,
this is what I've wanted.
I always wanted kids. And I didn't have the opportunity in my other relationships. And not that I couldn't. It was just more, I for sure wasn't ready. Yeah. I wasn't in a space to have children. Yeah. So I wasn't opposed to it. I've always wanted a lot of kids. And in my brain, once I figured out it was 3 of them, I was like, so you're telling me I get 3 kids and didn't have to do anything? That's phenomenal. So I'm like, that's amazing. Can't wait to see where this goes. So I was, I think you handled it really well. You were very forthcoming with the relationship that you have with your ex-wife, the relationship you have with your kids, how you co-parent. I felt very comfortable. I mean, in a previous relationship, for anyone really, like,
Yeah.
do you want someone talking to their ex? Of course not.
Yeah, it's a lot.
But this is a different circumstance.
Yeah.
In the way that you brought it to the table, I never felt uncomfortable at any point in time. I've never had a question about it of like, oh, well, maybe this, maybe that. Like, I don't even want to give an example because it's just not something that's ever crossed my mind. Because you were so open. I remember the first time, within the first day of meeting each other, you go, oh, hey, they texted me. Can you read what they said?
Yeah.
And I remember being
I was driving, yeah.
You were driving, yeah. And I remember being like, that's your ex-wife who texted you. You want me to read this text message? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to open it because, you know.
Yeah, I remember. She's like, so you want me to open the text?
You want me to click on it?
And read it.
And I'm
like, read it. Most likely it's either going to be a question about a Disney login info. It's going to either be about, hey, did you see the birthday party? Or, hey.
Correct, yeah.
What are we, like, it's always in reference to the children.
Right. So I think I came from a place where I don't look at phones. I just didn't look at previous partners' phones. Not because I was afraid. It was just not. It was very taboo to me. Yeah. In my mind, I'm like, ooh. I'm like, that's just not what I did. Even though I was very open about my phone in every relationship, I don't care. I have nothing to hide. But like, I always thought maybe if I go onto someone's phone, I will find the thing something that I don't want to see. Yeah. So I never did it. So for someone to be like, hey, open my phone. Here's my password. I just met you. Here's my password. Open my phone. Yeah. Read the text message from my ex-wife. I'm like, wow, this is a double whammy. I'm like, she wants me to click on this. And I did. And from then, not that I had any reason to suspect anything to begin with. I feel like I never even had the space to get there because you were just so open and transparent about everything. I appreciate that. And I was like, wow, and it's different because no one's ever fucking transparent about their ex. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm like, for you to just do that from the jump, I think it really set the tone for, I think, how much we trust each other. Yeah. And how we communicate in this relationship because it made me immediately feel like, oh, you know what? Maybe they have nothing to hide. Yeah. There's nothing I need to worry about.
And I think that's the responsibility of mine where I need to make sure that I'm being transparent. And I need to, because I don't ever want to put anybody in a situation where like, well, I didn't know this. It's like, well, you know what I mean? Did I have to be as transparent? Sometimes you don't really have to. And I think that, not that I don't think that I overshare, but it's like, I'm really into her and I really want this to work. And this is going to take a lot from me. Right. And I need you to, and I think it takes a strong person who's confident in themselves and knows about themselves to be comfortable with the relationship that I do have. You know, in terms of how we speak and stuff like that. So, right. I think it's a group effort.
It is a group effort.
It's a group effort. And then that in itself can be intimidating, right? Especially, it wasn't like, it was such a long-term relationship where it's like, and that in itself could be intimidating. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, like, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's how long my parents were together. Yeah. They were together for 12 years. So it is a long time to be with someone. Yeah. And so I don't think I saw it. I don't think I saw it as a bad thing either.
I'd hope that you didn't. I didn't want anybody to see it as a bad thing or anyone that I dated to see that as a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's a part of my life, you know, and I think that it's just, you know, it's a part of my life. It was a part of my life.
That brought you to where you are today.
Exactly. I don't regret it. I don't, you know, it's just part of my life. And and because of how the relationship that I have with her and we have with each other is so around the children, and it's, I mean, how do you describe it? It's
you and her.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
like, I don't, it's
just matter of fact.
It's it's really matter of fact.
Matter of fact. Like,
yeah. And I think it took for us to get, it took us not a while to get this because of emotions and stuff like that. I just learned how to speak to each other on this type of thing. And it's like, wow, okay, great. We're in a great place now. I just need someone else. Like, I need you to see that that's just what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. I mean, I remember the first time I guess I saw you guys interact in person. I was like, oh, wow, this is interesting. Because it's just matter of fact.
Yeah, I feel matter of fact.
Like, from where I come from, you know, you go to a party, your ex is there, they give you that weird hug, you know? Yeah, that weird side hug where, like, their hand lingers just a little too long. And, you know, like, so how are you? What are you doing?
How have you been?
You know?
And it's the exact opposite. go to her house, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna take a dump.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a cup of coffee.
Can I have a cup of coffee? You don't even gotta answer. I'm baseline. Can I have a cup of coffee? What creamer you got? Wow, you got money. You got 5 creamers.
Yeah.
Let me try one of them.
Like, I remember the first time I heard you guys joke around with each other, and I was like,
yeah.
It made me, in a weird way, it made me so comfortable because I'm like,
Good,
why would I?
I'm so happy.
I mean, I hear horror stories of divorced couples,
yeah,
right? And like the way they speak to each other and how they speak to each other in regards to the children. And
we're not like
I remember seeing them crack a joke, and I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah,
I'm like, this is
but
great.
Imagine coming in that not as a confident person and seeing that, like, that could be an issue.
It could be an issue.
That could be an absolute issue. And it's like, God, and so, like, thank you.
Of course.
Thank you for making it easy.
I think you made it easy.
No,
because I feel like you had a certain level of responsibility to make me feel comfortable. I'm telling you, if this would have been the situation of my previous relationship, it wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? I think it takes a very specific person to make you feel comfortable enough. And I think, like, in any other situation, I would have been like, it's a hell no for me. But I think it was you.
I think it was us.
It was us.
Because you could have not taken what I said and believed it, or you could have had your own insecurities, which I think we all have our own insecurities coming into anything, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm going to be honest. If the tables were, let's be real. I don't know if I could have handled it the way that you do. I don't know if I could. I don't know. I truthfully don't know.
Let's expand on that.
Like, why?
Yeah, like, do you think it would have just taken you longer to be comfortable?
Maybe. Because I think I also come from a cynical, like, there's no way you could be as honest, which you are. But, like, in the way, cause, like, the tables are turned completely, and if you told me from the rip, I don't know. How? You know, I think that's what a lot of people, I think it takes a lot of people who we date, it's like, how could you?
Yeah. I think especially coming from
maybe
where I came from, I think I was primed to not trust anyone. Yeah,
and coming out of a divorce for whatever reason it was, it's hard, you know,
to trust someone.
Baseline.
Yeah, because it's like how, like, I have to get vulnerable again.
Not only again, but I have to believe that there's a long term to this, right? So I think that, yeah, I don't know. I truthfully don't know. And
that's okay.
Yeah. And it's not because I don't love you or, you know, I think for as much as I thank you.
Yeah.
I think you're the real MVP in this whole thing.
I appreciate that.
No, for real.
I know.
I don't think you get enough credit for it. You do. You're the real MVP. It's true. I think that you just handle everything with such grace, and even from the first time when you guys met,
we had a great time.
Oh, chatting.
I mean,
I knew this. Because I know them, so like I knew it'd be like they're fine. You know what I mean? But like you just, I left you alone at the table.
Hey, girl.
You drop all things at the house and have conversations. You know what I mean?
Great conversation.
Great. Like how blessed am I? How fortunate am I? Like that's all I could have ever wanted in terms of being in a serious relationship. I didn't think that could exist. Especially after meeting the other person and stuff like that. That in itself could be intimidating. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think it can be. I think there's a lot of situations where sometimes that doesn't go well.
No, it doesn't. This is not the norm. Like I am the one that truly lucked out the most. For real. I absolutely did. Because Genesis, you make this really easy. You've made this as if this is something we've been doing for years, and this is what the norm should be and I could only hope that other people who were in my circumstances, who are in my situation, could meet someone like you.
Baby.
It's true though. It's true. And I don't mean to get all blah, blah. I'm just, when your flowers, you're due for your flowers. And you truly make this process easy. Because there's been situations at times where, you know, and you're fair, you're level headed. You've never down talked, you never, you know, you provide space for me to have my ups and downs. and you're never swayed one side. You always just hear me out and just validate my experience or whatever's going on, and let's see how we can fix this now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't think everybody can experience what I do. Experience with you, because I think my relationship, co-parenting relationship's gone even better. Since you've been in it hasn't gone worse. For sure, I feel like on my part, because I am not perfect. I know that I'm not. And I know I could bring my own issues into it, but since being with you, I think my co-parenting relationship's gone better. I think I see things a bit differently. I try to see and understand things a little bit better. I think that I parent even better.
Hey, no.
No, I do.
You're such a great mom.
No, stop.
I love how you're giving me flowers. I give you yours, and you're like, no. Don't talk about it.
Yeah, I think I've overall been better with you. I think I'm, and not just because of you. I think you're allowing me to do it on my own. If that makes any sense.
I'm encouraging you, encouraging the self growth.
Yeah, you're just watering it.
Yeah,
and telling me it's okay, even when things get real icky and yucky. Yeah. Like real icky, yucky. What am I feeling? Type thing, and I appreciate that.
I think that's a big thing in relationship, like communication. We're just talking about it.
That's what it is. It's communication.
It's communication, and I think, why would I add to your plate? Like, I love you. I want to be in a relationship with you, and I chose you at the end of the day. I didn't choose your situation, your circumstance. I chose Mariah. And I need to do what's going to allow Mariah to flourish, because I just want you to be you at the end of the day. That's who I like, is you. Not your job, not your life experiences, not your past. I want you. And I don't want to add I don't want to add to your plate. I want us to always be in a good headspace. And things can change. We cannot be in a good headspace. Of
course. I don't think everything's going to be perfect.
Right.
It's not. We've had difficult conversations.
We have.
Yeah.
And I think, why would I make meeting your ex-wife difficult? Why would I make meeting the kids difficult?
Yeah.
These are all things that I think anyone going into a relationship with someone who has kids, maybe divorced, whatever their circumstances, you need to really sit with yourself and think about what you want out of it. And I knew that I wanted you. And I'm like, how is this going to work? And I think by giving myself the time and the space and thinking about how you approach the situation really allowed me to feel comfortable and be like, no, we can do this. I mean, and I view the world differently, but I wanted kids. I was ready.
Yeah.
I was ready for that. That's what I was excited for. I'm like, oh my God. It's a built-in family.
I have 3 broke roommates.
3 social security numbers.
I've got 3 social security numbers.
Now you have 4.
Now I got 4. Yeah.
And the dog just has an ID tag.
Just an ID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My little guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I brought to the table. I was like, you have 3 kids. I have a furry one. He's real cute, I promise.
Nah, he is cute.
He's so cute.
Both of his eyes work.
But you have to
My
explain.
previous dog had like one eye that was always fixed in one direction. So you really didn't know who or what she was staring at, because we always assumed the other eye was the working eye. And it was like, whoa, like that.
Maybe it's,
I don't know if it's a bad thing. But no, I think that, I mean, we could also talk about next time what co-parenting looks like. Like,
yeah, because
dating someone with children.
And it's my first time being a parent.
And in that sector. Mm-hmm. And how does that look for you? And what do you think are some hurdles? What do you feel like you deal with on a basis and stuff like that? And how do you feel like, does your input count? Does it not? Does this, that? That's got to be a lot.
It is. A lot in a way of, it's a lot of things to digest, but not in a lot saying that it's overwhelming.
No, I hear you. appreciate the clarification though.
Of course, yeah, because I just don't. I feel like a lot of people find it to be really overwhelming, but I think
I had a friend come over and like she texted me and was like, yo, that's a lot, bro. That's a lot. Yo, you got 3 kids. I'm like, I know. They're like, no, but like that's a lot. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. Let me know when they're not here though. But you know, they blessings. They're blessings. But let me know. Like, let me know.
And I don't think I was ever scared in terms of what it was like.
Yeah. Because they could be a lot. Once they settle in, that's it.
But they're kids.
Yeah.
I think that I've always had the view of like kids are kids at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So when kids do something, anything,
Yeah.
I'm just like, but they're kids. Like we're at the end of the day.
You've made that easy. We could definitely talk about it in the co-parenting, but you've made it, you know, a lot of times I would cringe in the beginning, like, oh, you know, like.
But they're kids. Like,
no, I know, but not a lot of people
see
that. This is when you take away from you, because you say that and I hear you and I appreciate you, but not a lot of people think that way.
Yeah.
Because you say that with such like, you know, they could be Genesis, hey, hi, the shirt, this, that, and you're just like, yeah, sure, okay, cool, and I'm like, when is she gonna leave? When is she gonna leave? No, but in all seriousness, it could be a lot between I'm hungry, I want a snack, stop hitting me, I'm bored. I'm bored. What are we doing today? What's for breakfast? What's for lunch? What's for, what are we doing today? Like, all the time, you know what I mean? And is it overwhelming for me? Yes, but from a different point of view.
Right.
You know, it's it's a lot. It could be a lot, but
in my mind, I'm like, this is what kids
we're going to have a pancake party. I'm like, wow. I'm here like, here's a Cheerio. Figure it out.
No, a waffle party.
The waffle party.
Love the waffle party.
But yeah, I appreciate you, Genesis. I thank you. We thank you.
I love you.
I love you.
I'm happy to be here.
Me too.
Doing this with you.
Yeah.
Aww.
Why won't be like that?
Wow, now that we're all in
our feelings, can we eat wings?
Yeah, I think it's wing time.
Let's go.
Can
I get a kiss? Thanks. All right, well, guys, that was a good one. That was fun. All right, well, everyone have a good night.
Have a great one. Eat something yummy.
Yeah, eat something yummy. I'm sorry, just real quick. Do you see how long I've been playing with this?
Yeah, the whole time.
I love it. Do you want one? Or do you like that?
I think I kind of like this.
I love this.
My bicep is absolutely going to hurt later on.
Killing it. It's fine.
But it's okay.
I'm really into this. I like the stand. It gives me something to do with my hands.
For sure. I know I would love an arm.
Oh, yes. We're gonna, but let's just keep going. Let's keep going.
But for right now, I like holding it.
All right, cool. Yeah, I could see the arm thing, like the ROD, road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Road.
Yeah, I want to get that eventually down the road.
I mean, but I like this.
Yeah, and I like talking. I don't like that. I don't like that.
I do.
And I don't.
Yeah.
I like going right into the mic.
Yeah.
Singing is hard on a mic. All right, now
Anyways,
this is me.
Now everybody enjoy.
Have a great night.
Have a great night. Enjoy your food.
Good morning.
Tell us about your co-parenting.
No, dating.
Or dating, that's right. Tell us about how it is dating.
Some hurdles.
Do you have with kids?
Yeah.
Your experience.
In general.
Okay, bye.
Good night.